Hello and welcome back to Talk to the Experts. I'm Betty Jo Kaiser here on News Talk 770, and joining me this hour is Diamond Fernandez. He's the director with HeartFit Clinic here in Calgary. Heartfit.ca is their website. Phone number for more information, 403-870-4348, 1-877-700-4348. And Diamond, again, can we just go back to who comes to HeartFit Clinic? Who are the people that need to be considering this? I mean, heart disease is the number one killer of men and women. And over 50% of people with normal cholesterol do end up with heart disease at some point. Mm-hmm. And I find those stats really shocking. Yeah. So it feels like we're talking to a huge percentage of the population, but in particular.
I mean, those people who are concerned about their heart health and want to know what their risk is of a heart attack or stroke, we can help you. And we bridge that gap between going to your family doctor and your cardiologist. If you're not high risk enough, you're going to get dismissed from a cardiologist perspective. And if you're obviously not, if your doctor can only do so many things, your family doctor can only do so many things. They do some
blood tests. Yeah. They do, the basics. They're checking your blood pressure. Absolutely. They're doing that. But you guys get into it deeper.
Absolutely. And if those patients who have heart disease, now heart disease is all encompassing. There are different forms of heart disease. But if you have what we call coronary artery disease, that means you have heart disease happening inside your arteries. That's a great population of patients that we can really, really help now. And
fantastic.
I'm very excited about that, using what we call external counterpulsation therapy, along with our medical fitness programs and our nutrition programs and everything else that we do. This is a really great therapy to really excel someone's heart health.
And it's unique. Yeah. This is the kind of therapy that a lot of folks fly down to the Mayo Clinic to get.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's only 5 centers in Calgary, or in Canada rather, that offers it. And the HeartFit Clinic here in Calgary is the only one in Alberta.
That's correct.
So if you've heard of ECP, if it's something that you've had to fly down to the States to utilize, or if you are one of these people that Diamond is talking about with coronary problems, angina, diabetes, this is really an incredible, and Diamond's face, this is radio, so you guys can't see it, I'll have to explain it. His face lights up when he speaks of what happens to the patients after they've had the therapies.
That's why I love what I do. I mean, it's really about when patients can barely walk from the parking lot to our center, and then after treatment, they're able to do it with that much more ease. That's huge.
Fantastic.
When patients tell us that they can sleep better, when they can do a lot more, they increase their stamina. And of course, they can't see what's going on inside their arteries, but that's why we do our tests, where they're reversing the effects of heart disease.
So they get to the HeartFit Clinic and they get an assessment.
Yes.
And there's a whole suite of programs, fitness, nutrition. You guys take care of everything from top to bottom, right? The blood tests, the blood work, and you take care of all that. The echocardiogram. Listen to me. I could almost work there, right? Not quite. But the one big therapy, the one that we've been talking about that is super unique, the only place you can get in Alberta is at the HeartFit Clinic here in Calgary, is this external counterpulsation therapy, ECP. Walk us through it. I've gone through the testing. I know that I'm a perfect candidate for this. What am I going to experience?
Well, it's kind of nerve-wracking to start with. I mean, you're lying on this bed and you're just doing nothing. So what happens in this case is that there's these blood pressure cuffs that goes on your calves, your thighs, and your buttocks. And they sequentially inflate and it pumps blood back up to the heart. And you lie in this bed and it does it, and it goes towards your cardiac cycle. So if you're being at, let's say, 60, 70 beats a minute, it happens that often. It pumps that quickly. And so it kind of feels like a massage. And that's the best way I can explain it. You lie in this bed, you go through this treatment for about an hour, and we do 35 treatments of this, and that's what the research shows to show great benefits to helping prevent and reverse heart disease.
I have to ask, because I think of the cuffs, I think of blood pressure cuff. Does it does it squeeze like this blood pressure?
Yeah, our big saying is we're putting the squeeze on heart disease.
Nice. Yeah. Very catchy.
Yeah.
But it's not painful squeezing. It's just like massagey squeezing.
Yeah, it's very relaxing to be on the bed. It's safe. It's painless. There's no radiation. And when I say safe, I mean it's safe. There's absolutely no adverse effects. I think the worst thing that anyone's documented is chafing of the thighs. That's about it.
Wow, so, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. And it's an hour long. Mm-hmm. You can read while you're experiencing the therapy.
Yeah, listen to music, read, go to sleep.
Take a nap.
Yeah, have a little nap.
Is your clinic have extended hours for folks that have kind of crazy schedules?
Absolutely. I mean, we start early in the morning. We are open in the evenings as well, and weekends. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So, yeah. We are chatting with Diamond Fernandez of HeartFit Clinic. Heartfit.ca is their website. If you would like more information, schedule an appointment to get an assessment. It is 403-870-4348. 403-870-4348 or 1-877-700-4348. So we're talking about heart patients. That's really your main, I guess, your main audience. But when we talk about blood flow, Diamond, that's like your whole body, right?
Yeah.
So, which is, why it's great, for example, for folks with diabetes. But what about some other benefits that might be offered?
Yeah, I mean, when patients are able to tell us that they're sleeping better, they're actually able to, and we always close our eyes and turn our heads towards this, but they're able to perform better sexually in bed. That's a huge thing.
It's a fantastic side effect.
And the arteries going to our sexual organs, like I said before, are smaller than the ones going to your heart. And so when we improve that blood flow to all areas of our body, that's huge. And when you're just getting a stent, you're only focusing on, think about the size of that stent that's in your heart if you have had a stent. For those listeners, it's only a small section of the arterial wall. And if you've had bypass, you still have heart disease in all areas of the heart. And so these are not cures. These are just, I guess, what we call Band-Aid approaches to helping patients with angina. That's the big key.
That's right. They're temporary, and you really need to be on it. And it's important for folks who are just tuning in to understand that the HeartFit Clinic is not a replacement for your family doctor or your cardiologist. They work in tandem. They all work together, correctly?
Absolutely, yeah. And, we're not doing any hocus pocus magic tricks or anything like that. These are very evidence-based practices that we're doing with obviously our exercise program and nutrition program, stress management. Those are huge things that we do. But now with external counterpulsation, we're able to bring some really great evidence-based research to our clinic. And like you said earlier, patients do not have to fly down to the States to get this type of treatment anymore.
And I have to say, we're really living in a society where we kind of want a quick fix, right? We all know that better nutrition, more exercise, finding ways to reduce our stress, these are key pieces. But when you hear of a therapy like this, that it's been around for a very long time, it's all over the world, relatively new to Canada. There's only 5 places that offer it. Calgary is the place in Alberta. It is the HeartFit Clinic, heartfit.ca. And this external counterpulsation therapy, it's not hocus pocus, it's not magic, it's real, and you see real results.
Yes. And and that's who we really want to see. If people are really looking for results that really want to make them live longer, this is it. It's not rocket science what we're doing. Obviously, the treatment is very well evidence-based, and the benefits that we're getting from it, and the patients, what they talk about us. And, it's really great to hear the benefits of what patients hear.
Well, heart disease is the number one killer of men and women. Maybe it's, maybe it's in your family history. Maybe you're one of those folks that's in great shape. You do pretty good and your last cholesterol test was normal. But you know that there's a history of heart disease in your family. You just kind of wonder, wow, like for a pretty reasonable fee, you pop into HeartFit Clinic and they'll assess you, right? Yeah. You guys can tell way beyond what the family doctor can do. And that's one of the things that I think is really unique about your clinic, right? Is that you guys do some testing that goes quite a bit deeper than what you can normally get at the doctor.
Yeah, and that's important. Those people are really looking for answers. We're their answers for their heart health. And it's really, more importantly, if you really want to then prevent and reverse heart disease, we have some great answers for you as well. And with the blood work, we ship those results down to the States to get them analyzed, because there are no labs in Calgary that do what we do in terms of analyzing the way the blood, what we do. And obviously with arteries testing, we find out how old your arteries are, we find out how healthy your arteries are, and we see how fit your arteries are. And with our fitness assessments, and we look at your ECG, your blood pressure, your heart rate, we find that safe level for people to be exercising at. And the benefits that we see from ECP therapy, external counterpulsation at the HeartFit Clinic, is immense, going from pre and post. And like I said, patients walking from the parking lot, able to walk to our clinic without being short of breath or having
bounce
no
in their
angina.
step.
It's huge.
That's fantastic.
That's why we do what we do. We love it. We love to see the changes in people's heart health.
We are chatting with Diamond Fernandez. He is the director of the HeartFit Clinic. Go online and find out a little bit more, heartfit.ca, or you can give them a shout, 403-870-4348, 1-877-700-4348. Again, 403-870-4348. And you're open 7 days a week.
6 days a week. Yeah.
6 days a week. So for those folks that maybe have weird schedules or whatnot, and you've got some evening hours as well, this is not one of those clinics that it's very limited. These folks are all about understanding your lifestyle and improving your heart health. It's HeartFit Clinic, and it's heartfit.ca. This is Another exciting edition of Talk to the Experts. I'm Betty Jo Kaiser. Joining me still until the top of the hour, Diamond Fernandez. He is our heart expert. And we will be back on News Talk 770 after this.